let's continue the conversation on the states, right? You just heard about a new port that's going to be built in Ogun State, so that's good for them. Let's look at this Phillips Consulting Limited State Performance Index, the PSPI, that ranks the states in Nigeria across a number of metrics, and it's supposed to, of course, inspire government, private sector, and the states themselves, to perform better in order to improve the lives of the citizens. There's a quote from the report. We're going to get to that in just a moment, but let me introduce our guest, Victor Mba, who, of course, is the head of international development and is at the Abuja office at Phillips Consulting Limited. Victor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so okay, so tell us about what inspired this report. This is the second edition, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Second edition. Yeah, so this report is just inspired by, putting measures to performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we can't measure, we can manage.
Exactly.
Yes, so what are the different areas where we measure state performance in terms of social and economic performance? And that's what inspired this report. Yeah, statistics from here and there, looking at states in Nigeria. But what is that index that when we look at that index, it's all encompassing?
Yeah.
Not just about the hard data, but also looking at how people feel about governance, the impact of governance to the people.
Okay, impact of governance to the people. Nice that you stop there. There's a quote from the reports that talks about decentralization. I love it. There it is. The magic of the federation happens in the states. Talk to us about this, Victor. Expand on this.
Okay, yes. So this quote is true, actually, because in as much as Nigeria is a federal nation, it's made of 36 states.
Exactly.
And actually, what happens in this state is what cumulates to what we see at the federal level.
Yeah.
True, the federal government controls macroeconomic policies, security policies, FX, and the rest of them. But in terms of the critical development indicators, they are measured at the state level. For instance, the state government have control of education, healthcare,
land,
infrastructure, as you have rightly said. So if a government chooses to, they can actually make significant impact in terms of development of the states.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great stuff. All right. There's you have another. Let's get the screenshot from the report on the external environments for the states. It points out that FAC allocations have gone up. Yeah, there it is. Scanning the external environment. So yeah, as I just said, significant increase in FAC disbursements, 9 trillion 2022, 10 trillion 2023, 15 trillion 2024, and then up to 20 trillion for fiscal year 2025. And you look at the devolution of powers and decentralization. I love that word. That's my favorite word, decentralization, right? Makes me think of blockchain. And then the new tax reform bills. So this data point here that you have in the report, is this saying the states have no excuse? You've got more money, you can pay down debt, you've got more stuff for capital expenditure, paying salaries, and also to build your respective states. What was this data point telling us?
Well, we are not saying the states have no excuse. but what we are saying is that the states now have a clearer pathway to development.
Yeah.
Okay, so in time past, the things that are under the federal government control, some of those things have now been, decentralized. And it's not just about powers given to the states. No, it's about people asking the states for that accountability.
Right.
So I go to my state and the schools are not working, the hospitals are not working. It's the responsibility of the state, and in some cases, the local government.
Right.
Yes, so while the federal government still controls the macroeconomic indicators, things around FX, things around interest rate and the rest of them, those ones the states have no control. But what we are saying here is that the states have clearer pathway to development. And they can use what they have to get what they want, achieve results, if they want to do that.
Yeah. I won't say where I'm from. I don't want to get into trouble with the states. But look at me. I'm here in Lagos. I make my living here in Lagos. My cousins, they all move from that particular state. They are either Lagos or Abuja. I'm going to get to Lagos and Abuja with you in just a minute. But yeah, your point is valid. The states have to do what they can to attract their indigents back home. All right, we've got another performance index highlights from the report, and it shouts out differently. I love this. Was really nice. I mean, we could spend the rest of the hour on this. What does it say? Okay, so for example, at top left in orange, Jigawa, honesty of public servants. If I come to the middle, Ogun State, where Dangote is building a new port, IGR to FAC in terms of, I guess, the ratio. At the bottom there, Abia, capital expenditure per capita. You got Zamfara, capital expenditure to FAC. So what is this saying? This is saying, look, these are where these, okay, Delta, top right, total revenue to budget. Is this saying this is where these states have performed well, or what was it saying?
Okay, yeah, like I explained earlier, the PSPI looks at the number of indicators. And across those indicators, there are states that have performed better than other states. Of course, we have the overall performance, but every indicator was ranked.
Yeah.
And we have top performers. Look at when you look at it like Lagos State, in everything around IGR, Lagos State outperformed most of that state. Look at, for instance, IGR per capita.
Yeah.
Lagos is over 50,000 naira each person.
Right.
So each person in Lagos contributes about 50,000 naira to Lagos State.
Right.
That's about 5 times the national average. Yes.
Yeah.
You look at a state like Abia State. Abia State came out tops in terms of capital expenditure per capita. So they are spending on infrastructure for each person when compared to other states.
Yeah.
It's still like Zamfara State, capital expenditure in terms of FAC. That's the ratio of the capital expenses in terms of how much they get from FAC. Zamfara State topped. Gombe and Nasarawa State, on every indicator around healthcare, they came out tops. Adamawa State, for example, education, it came out tops. Jigawa State, security, clean water, honesty of public servants, they came out tops. Akwa Ibom State, areas around them, citizens being informed about what government is doing, they came out first. So these are different indicators and how different states ranked across those indicators.
Fantastic. Now, of course, Lagos topped I think Gombe was number 1 in 2024. Lagos is number 1, I guess, overall in your ranking. But I do want to ask you about, because we have the ranking here for top 10, the perception survey, right? Because you've got one number for the ranking. So yeah, help us. So secondary type first. So Lagos first, Ogun second, Kaduna third, and you've got Adamawa fifth, Nigeria seventh. What is that perception survey with that number to the right? What's that?
Okay, so not all data can be captured from secondary sources.
Gotcha.
Yes, we have for this year's report, we used the audited accounts from the states, data from Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, the World Bank, credible sources.
Yeah.
But when you look at certain indicators like quality of road, for example, honesty of public servants, the attitude of law enforcement agents, there is no data to capture these things. So we deployed a survey across the Federation over a 6-month period from November last year till about April this year that looks at, interrogates citizens on how these different indicators that I've just mentioned, how they rank them. So, and we got that survey. This year it's about almost 10,000 people responded out of over 200,000 SMS and how we send these surveys out.
Yeah, okay.
So that's about the perception survey.
Gotcha.
Again, last year was a 50-50 mix in terms of the weighting given to the secondary data and the survey.
Okay.
But when we engage with stakeholders, we say, opinions are valid, but facts are sacred. So we skewed it a little bit. This year it was a 70-30 mix, 70% weighting given to the secondary data, and 30% to the perception of how people feel.
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. All right, now you've got 37 KPIs or something to that effect. I think we should put it up. That is a lot. Is that overwhelming in terms of the different? So expanded indicators to the top left for our viewers. 37 key performance indicators, and you talk about the methodology and so on. So that's a lot, though.
Yeah, that's a lot, and we want to even add more.
Yeah?
Yes, we are adding more because we are serving a wide range of stakeholders, okay? Yeah. And we want to, as much as possible, capture as many data points as we can to serve the stakeholders that we manage. Yeah. The PSPI is a living tool. Right. It's not it's a tool that every year we want to keep improving. Last year we had just about 20. Now we have 37. Maybe next year we'll have 100. Yes, we are at the ACES organized by Sterling One.
Foundation.
Yes, during that event, we had people come to us and say, you know what, capture XYZ for us. Someone came and said, okay, please capture a data that speaks to gender inclusion, financial inclusion, local content. So, sure, next year, we're including more.
He also talks about you talked about the 10,000 people responded. So what are the different methods of, you said SMA, how did you, handwritten surveys, how did you spread this out? And is this across the geopolitical zone so that they're all represented?
Of course. Yeah. Oh, yes. So we used SMS. That's about maybe 70% of the data of the survey was pushed out using SMS.
Yeah.
Then we also use other things like WhatsApp, emails, our social media platforms. Then we have field agents in certain remote areas that assisted with dispensing of these survey questionnaires to people to respond to. And that's an area where we solicit the support of stakeholders to make it more public. The next one we hope to get maybe 100,000 people responding. Yes, it gives it more validity, and we get more data which can be used to drive policy at the subnational.
I was reading through the reports. I mean, you want this report to do a lot of things, but I think my favorite is the interstate competition. Can you talk about, I mean, when you say interstate competition, are you about, competing for investments, competing for what is that?
It's a competition for all the factors of production.
Yes.
Yes, especially capital and people.
Yeah.
Yes, we see migration. If you look at a state like Abuja and Lagos in recent time, you see like a sort of population explosion. People are leaving other states and heading towards these states, searching for in search for resources.
Yeah.
So it's already happening.
Yeah.
The states are already competing. But what we want to encourage is collaboration.
Yeah.
Looking for areas where you're not doing so good and other states are doing well, and things that you can learn from those states. As PCL, Phillips Consulting, we kind of facilitate those types of learning between states. Yeah, so I'm a governor of my state. I've seen this report. I rank low in certain areas, and I identify a state doing so well. We can facilitate an exchange program between the two states, and also what you have in the report is just about 5% of the available insight from the data that we have. So a state government that wants more information, we can do a state-specific report that speaks to that state using all the data that we've gathered during our analysis.
But so what can the states can the other states realistically compete with a Lagos? So look, see, here's an example, right? Lagos has an Apple service center. If you buy an Apple product and you have a warranty, you can actually get it fixed in Lagos. Abuja has 24/7 supermarkets. You can go buy food at 3 a.m. if you want. These are, when dirty December, when diaspora Nigerians come back home, they are partying in Lagos and Abuja. So, I mean, realistically, and then jobs, jobs. Young people that are looking for jobs, the tech space scene in Lagos, what's going on in Abuja with being the seat of power. How do you see it? Do you see other states being able to compete, to attract youth, jobs, and all these other things?
Well, I agree with you to an extent because Lagos obviously has its advantages, same with Abuja. But the PSPI is saying to whom much is given, much is expected. Yeah, so we are focused on efficiency ratios, equity, and policy outcomes in terms of impact of government spending, not just standalone. For instance, we didn't look at IGR.
Yeah.
We look at IGR per capita.
Yeah.
So that is a leveler. We are saying each person in Lagos contributes 51,000 to Lagos economy. What is stopping the person from Ebonyi from doing the same thing?
Right.
Delta State from doing the same thing. So that there is something that this state is doing well to make people, feel comfortable paying that amount of money to increase the IGR of the state. Look at IGR per kilometer square. Lagos State also came out first.
Yeah.
A state like Niger State it's half the size of the Southeast.
Yeah.
A local government in Niger State is like 2 states in the Southeast. Yeah, so that's a resource that the state own that could be used to generate revenue. If Niger State has the IGR per kilometer that Lagos State has, it will be one of the richest states in the country. You look at capital expenditure to FAC. And that shows how much the state is investing in infrastructure from the money they get from federal allocations. Yes. If all the states, and you see, for all these ratios I have mentioned, all these indicators, they are all ratios.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about dirty December. I agree. But do you know that the Southeast and a state like Edo State gets almost the same traffic every December. But how have they been able to manage that December economy?
Right.
Yes, Lagos have put a model around it that we think and we encourage other states to look at it
and develop their own.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look, Victor, this is a great report. Thank you so much for coming to break it down. The states, it's encouraging. They do need to compete and do need to boost their resources. And there's a lot of data here that a lot of folks can learn from. Victor, Phillips Consulting Limited from the Abuja office, thank you so much for your time.